All right. It's 2:03 Eastern time now, so I think we're okay to get started. So thank you everyone for joining the webinar today pertaining to improving your security posture with Splunk's rapid adoption packages. Before we start, we just ask that you reference the QA box for any questions to be addressed towards the end of the call, just to keep things on schedule here today. So my name is Miki Fukushima, and I'm one of the solutions architects at CDW focused on the security portfolio, and I'm on the security team here. And with us today, we also have Ash Patel, who will be doing the demonstration tied back to security and rapid adoption packages throughout this presentation. So really the meat and potatoes of this, Ash will be speaking and presenting to. Now, we noticed on the attendee list that most of you are familiar names. However, some of you are new to our company. So we just like to give a brief introduction to CDW, who we are and how far we've come as an organization over the last few years. So, for those of you who are new to us, we're a leading IT solutions provider. And really what that means is that we help position top tier technologies to all of our clients in order to help them achieve strategic outcomes, whether it's tied back to security, cloud, DevOps, end user computing, right? And even navigating many of these challenging times that we've been dealing with due to some global circumstances. So we really pride ourselves in being technology partners to our clients. Now, in order to help us better achieve this, we've really had to make the shift from a logistics first organization to really a leading solution provider that's built around services and building those strategic solutions for our clients. So really this has helped us grow from really a shipping focused organization to one that's helped us position ourselves to a point where we're able to help our clients solve very complex problems. And today we'll be diving into some of those on the security front. Really much of this in Canada has been spearheaded by some strategic acquisitions of scalar decisions to help us build out our solutions and services expertise, as well as Aptris to help us build out some of our automation capabilities. And really this has culminated in some excellent growth over the years for CDW as an organization. Now, really, we've also done this by being a client-first organization. And really what speaks volumes to this is local presence across all of the provinces, all of the primary business provinces throughout Canada, right? So we have 9 offices spread throughout the provinces with nearly 1,000 coworkers at this point in time, about 300 of those being technical, right? So with that, we've been able to build out both our service arm as well as build upon what we were already good at before, which was the logistics. So we're based in the Toronto area at 185 the West Mall. Upon reopening, we'd be happy to have any of you visit us to see some of our labs and experience some use cases and some expertise that we have sitting in that particular office. Now, with that being said, we also do pride ourselves very heavily with having one of the strongest security teams across Canada. So we have over 95 technical security professionals with industry-leading certifications. We have ethical hackers, CISSP, CCSP, ISACA certs and SANS certifications across our bench. And really that helps us, give a holistic approach to our clients from both the technical and the risk management perspective and solve some of those deeper problems and challenges that organizations have adopting some security solutions within their environment. Now, we're very excited because we also have the opportunity to present with Splunk. And really, I think the number of Splunk certifications that we have on our bench speaks volumes to the capability that we believe Splunk has to solve many problems on the security front. So, with that being said, I'd like to pass this on to Ash Patel, who will get into the technical demonstration here today.
Thanks for your introduction, Mickey. Before I jump into the demonstration, I'm going to go through a few slides so I can introduce Splunk as the company and our mission to everybody. I think that I was told that some of the audience might be unfamiliar. I am a senior partner technical manager coming up on my 4-year anniversary here. If you think about, if you are wondering what a partner technical manager is, we are basically sales engineers for our partners. Anything technical that CDW or a few of my other named partners need, whether it be enablement, help with POCs, product updates, it is my job to support that. Now, before I get into what the rapid adoption packages are, I think we'll go through a little bit of a primer with Splunk first, so everybody knows what it is and what we do. I'll follow that up with a short demo of the rapid adoption packages, and so you can see the platform and some of the capabilities in action, and then leave a little time for Q&A at the end. So Splunk as a company has been growing like crazy. I think we were founded in 2003, went public in 2012, and we're kind of one of a small group of companies, software companies, I should say, who've surpassed that $2.3 billion annual revenue mark. Just from my time here, we've grown from 3,000 to 6,000 employees and are quickly approaching 19,000 customers. One of the stats here at Splunk that we are most proud of is that 85 of the Fortune 500 in the US are our customers. And we think that speaks volumes because it shows our ability to really span all kinds of different verticals out there. It doesn't matter if you're in financial services, education, or energy and utilities. When organizations, get large enough, they face a common set of challenges with managing infrastructure and people and systems and the complexities of applications. And that's really where they turn to us. And what they turn to us for is help with their data. Splunk was founded under the premise to essentially be the Google of your data, to be able to ask any question you want and then get some insight back from that data. And since our founding almost 17 years ago, we've seen the world of data explode, beyond just servers, applications, and databases and things like that. To now the whole Internet of Things, robots, RFID, everything that we do on a daily basis is producing some type of digital exhaust. And that exhaust is growing exponentially. And the people who are qualified to make sense and to gain insights out of that data is not growing as fast. And the only thing that's going to address that issue is smarter software. So when you guys think about your data, some of you might be asking yourselves these types of questions. Are you secure? That's one we're going to be focusing in on today. But beyond that, we are helping customers answer all these other types of questions. Are your systems performing? Why did this problem occur? How do you prevent this problem from happening again in the future? These are the types of outcomes that our clients are desiring when implementing Splunk. And we've taken these questions and really focused them into 4 distinct, what I'll call groups. The 2 biggest ones for us are IT, IT operations. Think about it, your Active Directory, the applications that you run, the servers and the infrastructure that just power everything. The health and monitoring of that all falls under IT. The securing of that and the global enterprise is the other big kind of vertical that we target. And then 2 of the faster growing ones right now are the Internet of Things and business analytics. For the sake of just keeping things topical today, we're only going to focus in on one of these, and that is going to be security. Now, we've tried to simplify our approach to data management, or as we call it, the data journey. We've been doing this a long time, and we've seen and learned what, and how our customers interact with their data. And it's essentially almost a closed loop, where they want to investigate, monitor, analyze, and act together. And you'll see when we get into the Splunk platform and we look at the searching and the real-time monitoring, and then the ability to do advanced analytics, and then the ability to alert and operationalize on it. These are really the kind of the four key actions that Splunk, the platform, is helping to facilitate for our customers. Now, you may be asking yourself, yeah, don't a lot of products do this? There are other people out there, other companies out there trying to do this, but what we've seen and what the market has told us is that doing this at scale and turning your data into action is hard. Sometimes you don't know the questions you want to ask of your data before you're actually ready to start putting data in. And that's really one of the limiting factors of most of our competitions. It's that you need to know the specific use cases. You need to know what you're actually asking before you begin planning any type of deployment. Splunk is completely different. Splunk allows you to start aggregating all of your data and then apply whatever logic and questions and analysis you want to at a later time. Now, those steps, of kind of getting all the data in and getting all the searches and analysis in place, and then building out all the visualizations and alerting and all those other capabilities, it's hard and it can be time consuming. And that was the primary motivation for creating these rapid adoption packages. If you had asked somebody 10 years ago, what can Splunk do? The answer quite likely would have been, well, what do you want it to do? We can do any number of things. What the market has told us is that they want something much more prescriptive. They want something much easier to implement. They want accelerated time to value. They want the quick resolution of pain points, and they want simple packaging and pricing. So when we look at these rapid adoption packages, that's what you'll see. You'll see that each one of these packages is actually a use case with different types of capabilities and one simple, easy to understand, expandable pricing model. And I think I just went into what the rapid adoption packages are. So with each of these, rapid adoption packages, we're looking at the security ones. It's really broken down into 5 distinct pillars, focusing in on basic security monitoring, compliance, insider threat, advanced threat detection, and network monitoring. Now, those are kind of broad levels of, security topics when you're talking to security professionals. When you say basic security monitoring, what do you actually mean? In this case, we mean a certain type of analytics that's being applied. Analysis of the brute force detection, looking for basic malware outbreaks, recurring infections on host, the use of local login credentials. So if we were to look at these 5 rapid adoption packages, you would get about however many are there, I think like 20 or so predefined searches and then associated dashboards with them. But what we tried to do was position these rapid adoption packages at a security maturity level where your teams, where you might not have a dedicated security operations center. You might have a team of IT people who are kind of doing security by committee. You might have one person who's in charge of the firewalls, one person who is in charge of the antivirus, another person, maybe the Windows administrator, who's tasked with monitoring any type of suspicious happenings in the Active Directory environment. So what we've tried to do is, what I should say, not what we've tried to do, what we've done is taken all the ability to monitor all these various types of things and brought them under one umbrella in the Splunk platform. Now, we can get really advanced, once we start talking about, kind of the next levels of apps, like, the Splunk InfoSec app and then Splunk Enterprise Security, what we can do with this data. But for the purposes of today, we're going to kind of keep things at a lower level here with the rapid adoption packages. Now, lastly, before jumping into the demo portion itself, what is included in the rapid adoption packages? It's 5 of those security use cases that we were just seeing. It's up to 25 gigs of daily ingest across all of the packages. 1 term license, so that will be a yearly subscription to the service. It is available on Splunk Cloud. In fact, that is the preferred method of deployment that reduces the need for you to stand up Splunk on any of your internal infrastructure. You can just begin sending data up to the Splunk Cloud, have the rapid adoption packages dropped in, and then begin gaining insights for it. And lastly, we've had many customers who started out with these rapid adoption packages and then quickly grown beyond them. And when they realized that, when customers realized how much more they could do with their data. So you're not getting any type of de-featured Splunk platform. You're getting a fully featured Splunk, just as if if you were kind of ingesting a terabyte of data per day. So with that, I will jump over to Splunk, the platform. Now, before I get into the rapid adoption packages themselves, what I like to do is I like to give viewers kind of a look at what is going on underneath the covers, because you're going to see dashboards and you're going to see graphs and you're going to see other types of visualizations. But in order to understand, I want people to understand where all this stuff is coming from. Now, when I said before that Splunk started off with the mission to essentially be the Google for your data, that is what I meant. We wanted people to give people a search mechanism where they could see, just start typing things and begin seeing, what was going on in their environment. The broadest search that you can do in Splunk is to say, show me everything for a period of time. Now, if we roll here, we'll see a bunch of different fields, and we won't get into the complexities of these fields quite yet, but I do want to point out one thing here. All of your data is stored in one or more indexes. In this case, we see that data is being stored in this RAP, Rapid Adoption Packages demo. In a production environment, how you would normally see this is that people would likely have one index for just their firewalls and one index for just their Windows servers, or one index for a specific package. Doing this allows you to silo your data with other relevant data and to really optimize the searches. So now we're only looking at the indexes in this Rapid Adoption Packages demo index. And we may want to see the top producing hosts. So which machines are actually writing the most data to this particular index? So let's go ahead and look at the top values by time here. And if you see, when I clicked on that button, what it did was we piped the data that was being retrieved into a time chart. And this is where the power of the Splunk language really gets it, because you can keep taking this data and doing more and more with it. You can do advanced stats, or you can go ahead and do anomaly detection. We have a very, very powerful language called SPL, search processing language, which allows you to provide, very, very deep level of analytics. If you want to go ahead and do machine learning on this data, directly from the search line, you can do so. That is a conversation for another day. The production of visualizations is also very easy. We wanted to make things very easy and consumable. So you can take these various types of visualizations, you can play around with them and do different types of formatting. And then ultimately you can take what you produced and save it as a report or a dashboard panel, or if you want to operationalize it, you can go ahead and turn it into some type of alert, saying, if you see XML, if you see this type of activity happen more than 10 times in an hour or something similar, then an alert will be generated. We also have numerous different types of alert actions. So if you see that you're under a brute force attack from on your Palo Alto firewall, you can take an automated response to block that IP address, to email your firewall administrator, etc. This is just a subset of actions that you can take. You can find a complete list. Before I go into that, we've gone through like the very basic, like the analysis, at a high level of what Splunk is. But at a platform level, Splunk is an extensible platform. So searching and reporting is the most basic of apps, but all of these, the rapid adoption packages are essentially what are just considered apps in Splunk. And if you think of Splunk as a platform, or just like your iPhone or your Android phone, and how you have a Play Store where you can go and download more apps, think of Splunk as being very, very similar. Right now on Splunk base, we have, I think, over 2,000 some apps in, just about, in these categories. Chances are, if it's anything from a major vendor out there, Cisco, Dell, Amazon, Palo Alto, Checkpoint, there's already something produced in it, because our customers have told their vendors that they want ways to get their data into Splunk. So you can just come in here and see those various apps and then very easily install them into Splunk. Now, the apps themselves are just a collection of dashboards and searches. So let's go ahead and look at a couple of these rapid adoption packages. Now, just so you know, like the rapid adoption packages are extensive. And if you ever want more information on a particular use case and what it's doing and the search, then we have some very helpful documentation. So we've accessed right now the advanced threat detection package. Within the advanced threat detection package, we have these particular capabilities: the ability to search authentication against a new domain controller. We can look for Tor traffic. We can see if somebody was logging into an excessive number of hosts, et cetera here. Where are these searches coming from? If you look on the how to configure app, you can find the help documentation. Just click on it directly from the app itself, and then you'll get more information on it, on why this particular use case was created. So why should we care if there was new authentication against a domain controller? Well, we can read and then realize that after an attacker gains access through a network through a compromised asset or credential, the first thing that they're going to do is attempt some type of lateral movement, and the highest level of access you can get is to a domain controller, where you can give yourself kind of like the highest level of permissions. You could kind of sneak a user account in there that looks like another administrator. So this will give you more detail on the use case itself, and then some insight into the data, and then just some additional best practice information in using and analyzing the dashboard results. So we go in here and look at the recent authentication activity. Well, what stands out here? Why is E. Belford logging into so many of the new domain controllers? So I know some of this might look a little bit, like, well, did he really log in 1,800 or like 1,000 times to a particular machine? Well, probably not. But we have a data generator going on running in the back to create some fictitious activity here. If we go beyond that and look for basic Tor detection, we can see that like what applications are suspected of running like high levels of Tor. HTTP video. Well, what is going on here? Maybe one of your employees dropped in, like was using the Onion browser to watch YouTube all day when he was working. Well, guess what? Now you actually have a way of seeing, who that user actually was, coming from a source IP 212.176, etc. Now, the purpose of having all these rapid adoption packages is to kind of like give you kind of a baseline for your security operations. It's one centralized place where a team of people can come in here, and you could delegate these, based upon roles. When you come in here, it's your job to come to look for any of these use cases, to give yourself kind of like a baseline of security. Now, I won't go through each one of these rapid adoption packages. Has a certain set of capabilities and then dashboards associated with them. In the interest of time, I won't go through all of them, just because that would probably take a couple of hours here. But by seeing this and looking at kind of like the totality of the rapid adoption packages and their various capabilities here, you have a good idea of what Splunk is at a foundational platform level, how you would deploy it in Splunk Cloud, and the capabilities that you would have from deploying these 5 security-related rapid adoption packages in your environment. So with that, I think I will turn it back over to you, Mickey, and open it up for questions.
That was a great presentation and overview from Ash there. And what we'd like to do is just provide some call out and action items pertaining to the Splunk rapid adoption packages moving forward. So, we'd really like you to reach out to your account teams and really focus on discussing some use cases with them. Both Splunk as a security tool, potentially going over some of the use cases that I should discuss today, such as helping you gain visibility into the overall adherence to various compliance frameworks that your organization may have, or augmenting existing tools that you have in place, like firewalls and endpoint security solutions, right? Really providing you the ability to, gain visibility and triage, ultimately reducing risk and, preventing organization from spending on things that might not be necessary or might not reduce risk to the same extent. In addition to this, potentially considering use cases like analytics and really automating some of those DevOps workflows or other great use cases that you can discuss with account managers. And even things like health checks and assessments that are tied back to services or within scope, within this partnership that Splunk and CDW shares. So So really what we'd like to go into next is some of the pricing options and really more of the things that you should have prepared prior to having that conversation with some of your sales teams and account managers and discussing some of these cases. So we ask that you have a minimum of 3 use cases ready, whether it would be for you know, helping you automate some of those compliance workflows and maybe gaining some visibility into the PCI, HIPAA, FERPA, right? FedRAMP compliance, right? But Splunk can really help you accelerate. In addition, knowing really where your logs are coming from. So understanding that, you'll have those logs ready to be ingested and ready to action following the adoption of Splunk within your environment. And then really having that conversation with your account manager pertaining to those use cases so that they can help position the best situations for you that will help you gain the most return on your investment. Things like helping you calculate, reduced MTTR, help you achieve those MTD goals, right? And really, move forward towards the ever-changing frameworks that we're experiencing within today's security landscape. So we'll end on that note, and then we'll move to Q&A. We'll open the floor up. Didn't see anything in the chat throughout the presentation, but we do have a couple of questions ready if no one has anything that had come in prior to this webinar today. So I guess we can start off with some of the questions that had come in via email prior to the presentation. So one thing that we got asked is, what are the components of Splunk and really what do we need to deploy? At the core of it, Splunk is a combination of forwarders, indexers, and really searchable search heads rather, right? So Ash had showed some of those components within his demonstration there, and really that's all Splunk is made up of at the end of the day. Really what you build on top of those is up to your discretion and your use case, depending on the topic that you're looking to address, in addition to some of the use cases and log sources. If you need help formatting anything in order to optimize it and really enhance your readiness towards adopting something like this is something that CDW will be able to assist with. Another question we got asked was about the complexity and about the training tied back to Splunk. So really, we think that Splunk is one of the most usable analytics tools on market at this point in time, which is one of the reasons why we've partnered with them at such a high level. But I would like to direct you to Splunk base because Splunk Core Fundamentals is currently being offered. The training program is being offered at a complimentary rate at this point in time. In addition, if you or your team is looking to get certified from the technical perspective with Splunk's tools, there's currently a promotion running towards until the end of the month, rather, for anything that you would like on the certification front, and that's all carried through Pearson VUE. Another question that we got asked prior to the call was pertaining to distributed ledger technologies or some blockchain use cases. Really, I think that this comes back to custom use cases that you would need to develop with an architect in addition to a Splunk team in a more bespoke way, and this is something that we can address in a more private conversation. There are absolutely use cases for blockchain technologies that are within Splunk's scope, like from the auditability perspective, the immutable database side of things, as well as data integrity controls and the ability to store hashes in a way that's not to be tampered with, or that would require multiple levels of control from those distributed groups. Those are use cases that need to be addressed definitely on a case-to-case basis. So, hearing more about Splunk, again, Ash went, fairly in depth about what Splunk does, right, from a high level and the tools that are offered within the platform itself. If you'd like to hear more about some of those specific use cases, then we can have more tailored conversations around those as well. So those were, the questions that we got on repeat prior to the call. But again, we will be on this webinar for a while longer and are happy to address any questions that do arise or have come to mind throughout the course of this presentation as well. Ash, is there anything that you would like to add there or any questions that had come to you directly prior?
No additional questions.
Actually, I do have a question that was sent to me privately. So in the RAP packages, are the TA add-ons included?
Yeah, the TA add-ons are, they're just part of it. So they're part of the getting data in. I think I should clarify this. There's never any associated charge with technology add-ons. It's just something that you're able to download and deploy. The only thing Splunk cares about is the ingest.
So thank you everyone for joining today. Really appreciate your time. Again, please feel free to reach out to your account managers and account teams. We'd be happy to have any follow-up conversations pertaining to security and beyond that following this completion of this webinar. So please do keep that dialogue going.